So as we were discussing that these five ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya and aparigraha being yamas, and ahimsa happens to be the root. And when ahimsa is the root, like as we discussed, even though we have all kleshas, so among all the kleshas, that avidya is the root cause. Then after avidya, asmita adi kleshas take over. So also here from ahimsa everything starts. So while discussing this thing, the next sutra very carefully says, yes, which is very important. It says jati, desha, kala, samaya, anavachinnaha, sarvabhuma, mahavratam. Generally, people do follow ahimsa in one area and highlight that they are following ahimsa in reference to anything and everything. Like our fellow was following ahimsa for one community, but he extended to all community. So like that, each one does something but extends to everything. So that is what the problem here. Now, very nicely, he highlights that this is a mahavratam. So generally when you do any vratam, so this is a very colloquial word, almost every Indian language we have this vratam. So I am having vratam. For example, if you are going to anybody's house, you don't want to eat, so you can say, look, I am having vratam. Nobody will ask any question, nobody will feel bad also. In fact, they will not pressurize you. All over India we have this. In fact, that is how our Prime Minister did it in America. So I am having Navaratra Vratam. So, what is that Vratam? So, Vratam means we do not compromise the vow, the decision that we have taken. Even though there are certain exceptions are there. If we want to discuss, we can discuss a lot. Especially Mahabharata talks in details regarding this. However, that this ahimsa to be followed all the time. And of course, not only ahimsa, along with satyam, bhasham, asteyam, and brahmacharya, aparigraha. So when this is to be followed all the time, but generally we follow according to our convenience. So he highlights them very carefully. First he brings jati. So jati means it is not necessarily. So jati means we say very nicely, it can be species or it can be varna, both. So species means, for example, I am talking about in Hinduism, all Hindus, those who are religious people. So they will not do any himsa to any cow. Suppose a cow is eating something they don't eat. And of course, bull very scared. So this is my personal experience, I can tell you. We have seen in our childhood, if you hit a bull for something, suppose a bull is coming and eating some vegetables or some plants or whatever. Suppose even if also we have seen in the field, paddy field, suppose in your paddy field that fellow will enter and eat whatever. So you get angry, you hit that fellow. Do you know what he does? Next day you will see purposefully you live everywhere, only in your field you will destroy everything. It's amazing how that fellow does. So that's why people, what they do is, okay, if that fellow has ate, let him eat. Namaste, please. Mahadeva, Mahadeva, please go away, go away, go away. So that's why we don't hit a bull, even if that fellow eats all sort of, plants and everything. So there is a fear with the bull, okay? Just I am telling you the sentiment of people, okay? Because for what purpose you are eating, that fellow will do much more worse. Even if night you cover everything, will break everything and end up. That capable, because understands everything, okay? That's right. So for bull, there is fear, which is, practical loss, fear of practical loss, I would rather say. For cow, there is fear of dharma. So nobody does himsa, nobody hits a cow. And as you know, if the cow dies by mistake, and what hell you have to go through, in the sense difficulties and lot of rituals, worse than, because we consider that killing 100 human beings, remember, one cow is being killed is equal to killing 100 human beings. That much power one incurs. So that's why people don't have any himsa with reference to cow species. So also killing a Brahmana, we have common 10 people, one Brahmana, 10 Brahmanas, one cow. That is what we have classifications. So now also there are, with reference to Brahmana species, you can say people don't do himsa. So also if you look at Desha, with reference to Desha, we have, now I am in Mathura, Vrindavan. So I cannot do any himsa. I am in Rishikesh, Haridwar. I don't want to do himsa because I am in a pilgrimage. I am in a Kashi. I don't want to do himsa. So in a specific area, like, for example, why to talk this way? For example, when people goes for this, Muslims goes for Hajj pilgrimage. So you should see them. Those who talk about many things differently, but when they go, how they dress, how they go, even if push, pull, everything, no himsa, nothing, you understand? So that is very specific to a place. So also in Christianity, but don't ask me more, okay? Because those who go first time to Vatican City, what a devotion and other things. But you should ask Rome people, okay, how they loot. Because everywhere in Rishikesh also same thing, don't worry, okay? And interestingly, I had very bad experience in Rome. I cannot forget till now. So with my phone, okay? So the fellow thought, because the phone did not work, long back, so we thought to repair. So this fellow thought, and after all is tourists, so they can loot the way they want. And we are reminding, hey boss, don't do this thing. Are you an authorized person? Are you to do this? Yes, everything. Finally made a mess, but never thought that we are local, we are not outsiders. And we made a mess. Finally, okay, what happened? Let us not discuss. So, in short, so people have some type of fear. They do follow these yamas. They do speak truth in spite of problem in pilgrimage places because there is a fear. They have gone for a purpose. That's why they allow others to cheat. That's why all these pilgrimage places, only cheating people are available. They make their money. You understand what I am trying to highlight? Very unfortunate thing happens. Like, for example, now if you go to Kedarnath, first of all, to get a ticket, helicopter ticket, you have to use, very high contact. It's very difficult to get helicopter ticket. Somehow you manage. Then when you go there, night stay if you are doing, whatever price they put for that night stay hotel, small hotel, whatever price they say, It sometimes goes more than star hotel. Don't ask what is the facility, multi-star facility, remember this, okay? Without visible, without this thing, what I call, stars visible, okay? Or it is perfectly multi-star facility. In the sense, you may get some hot water, that to not running hot water, one bucket of hot water, something to cover, that's all. How? Why all this thing happens? Because there is a fear for me, once in my lifetime I am going to Kedarnath. So I have a punya concept that I want to have punya. So that's why I don't want to hurt anybody. Even if somebody says, Shiva, 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 Har Har Mahadev, Mahadev will take care. You understand? And of course I don't want to tell lie either. That's why the priest, they catch you very nicely. So what they do is, they have pothi, long. So from where from you have come? You have come from this area, Tamil Nadu, for example. So Tamil Nadu, which area? Then the priest will catch you. Look, your forefather, 10 generations, you do not know anybody, okay? So your something matches. So he had come. Can you see his signature? You can say, look, my father did not, that fellow did not study at all. No, you can see thumb impression. Whose thumb impression? Don't ask, okay? So there you tell the truth. That's why top people, everybody has to bend down. There is no choice. So what I am highlighting here is that how you follow these yamas with reference to jati, with reference to desham, then of course there is a kalam. So kalam means today is Chaturdashi. So pradosh time, I don't want to tell lie. Ekadashi time, I don't want to tell lie. Today, now, in fact, at this moment there is this, what do you call, eclipse. I don't want to tell a lie because it will multiply. So, people follow these yamas very carefully. So, whether it is ahimsa or satya, or we can say this asteya, brahmacharya or aparigraha, based on their convenience. But here he says, look, it should be followed with reference to jati, means with reference to everything. Desha, with reference to all the places. Not that, I don't want to, it's like, they will say, I don't want to keep my leg towards one city, the people have. So, whole city or whole area they don't keep the leg towards that because our worship God is there. But I can kick everybody and anybody and everybody, I don't care. You understand the concept? Hey, that is not acceptable, that's not right. And once I go there, then all the time I'll be in white dress, I don't have to change me, okay? So that is a status. So, except some few nuts, okay? Okay, at least, I respect them, elderly people especially, once they go, they maintain that white color, which is really good. Some thinking changes in them, many cases I have seen that also, forget that. So here he says, like, look, so sarvabhaumaha, so in all these situations, this is to me to be followed, and that is what is called Mahabharatam. Because when we look at this ahimsa, already we have discussed, being three types of ahimsa. One is saririka, second one is called manasika, third one is called adhyatmika. So saririka means that it is related to body. So that means what? You do not want to hurt somebody, you do not want to disturb somebody's prana directly. At the same time, second one is manasika, that you don't want to hurt anybody mentally. Third one is not allowing your thinking to get polluted. Because once my thinking is polluted, then many things will happen. So that's why thinking starts getting polluted. First is what? The first step is asuya. So asuya, as you know, that the moment there is jealous in me, there is some type of insecurity in me, I compete, I want to prove, I want to establish, I want to, make sure that I am different what people think of me or what I think of me. Then what happens? That's what I say. Asurya namate loka andhina tamasa bhuta tanste pretyabhigachanti yeke chatmahana janaha. So here is being highlighted in one of the Upanishads that once the person allows the antakarana to get polluted, so automatically that person is going to born in a place called Asura Loka, where the person will be forced to fight morning getting up till evening. You understand? For a power position. It's not Asura Loka only demons, okay, devils, not necessarily. So you are born or you will be born in such a place where you don't have any choice, only struggling to prove and prove. And whole life you try to prove, finally prove nothing, okay? So the day you discover there is no need to prove anything to anybody, including yourself, that's called big relief in your life. Then you will discover whatever you do is entirely different. You will do everything gracefully, graciously. That's why here we say that make sure that I am neither doing anything, disturbing anybody, nor I am allowing anybody to disturb. Then when we say very carefully that when this ahimsa is being followed, then comes satya. That's why when we talk about satyam, we do come across different type of examples. For example, along with the satya comes dharma. And in Mahabharata, we had a person called Yudhishthira. So who was the son of dharma, embodiment of dharma. And that's why he was always speaking truth. And we know this story goes that when they understood it's difficult to kill Drona, the Acharya, Shastracharya, the Acharya of Shastras, weapons, they were learned Guru there. Now, how to kill him? It is impossible. There is no way to kill him. And if he is not being killed, the whole adharma is going to prevail because he is supporting adharma side. Look at the situation, very precarious situation. And of course Lord Krishna comes forward, look, who is going to bail the cat? It's not going to work. So then they found out, look, Yudhishthira has to tell a lie. So Yudhishthira said, no, I cannot. You have to tell a lie. He said, no, I cannot tell a lie. It's not possible by me. They said, okay, don't worry. We'll do something. So because, Dronacharya had his weakness for his son called Asutthama. So it is believed that fellow is still alive and wandering as a mad person. In fact, in Maharashtra there is a temple. It is believed that he is hanging till now there. That temple, night nobody goes, not supposed to go in a hillock. If anybody goes in the night that area, sees that person and also that person becomes mad. So many people have taken challenge and gone, finally they become mad in the night. So in that Shiva temple, so they believe that after the priest does puja and closes and comes back, next day morning when they go, still they see there is some fresh flowers and lot of changes. However, coming back to the point. This Ashwatthama was the son of this Dronacharya, and Dronacharya was a great person. Was not an ordinary person, but he had a problem. The problem was he was too much attached to his son. And because he was too much attached to his son, he had to take revenge on his friend. In fact, he became one of the main cause. There are many causes. One of the main cause of this great war called Mahabharata. Because he did this thing, revenge, that's why this Drupada, Raja Drupada, the father-in-law of Arjuna, had to do a yaga ritual where a child will be born to take revenge. It's a big story, was to make it short. That when this Krishna understood there has to be some himsa, there has to be some lie, this is called against Yama, that's what I'm trying to say. Then they had to kill one elephant named Ashwatthama. So when one elephant named called Ashwatthama was killed, now look, the news was spread that Ashwatthama is killed, Ashwatthama is killed. Dronacharya could not believe, how can my son be killed? It's impossible. That fellow is, supposed to be alive all the time, one of the Chiranjeevi. How is it possible? Impossible. But where Krishna is there, anything and everything is possible. So must have been done something. But still he could not believe. So to get confirmation, he comes to Yudhishthira, because he knows Yudhishthira will never tell a lie. And Yudhishthira says very nicely, Ashwatthama hata. So Ashwatthama is killed very loudly, okay? Ashwatthama hata. Nara vagunjare. Whether it is a human being Ashwatthama or is an elephant, that I don't know. You understand? Ashwatthama is killed. So whether it is Nara Vagujara, that I do not know. Means I am not sure. And of course, that last words, Ashwatthama Hatha was heard, other two were not heard. So Dronacharya gave up the sword, and that was the time Drishtadyumna came and chopped the head of Dronacharya. So when we look at this sort of examples, we get to know that means it is according to the convenient this yamas are being interpreted. It's not like that. We have, that's why very carefully we say that to understand what is dharma and what is adharma. So what is kartavyam, what is akartavyam? So we need to take the help of Shastra. Nahi karyam akaryam va sukham gyantum kathanchana sudena gyayate sarvam tatchatvam navabudhase. So this, what is to be done, what is not to be done, it is not decision of me. It is not decision of my friends. It is the decision of the Shastra. As you know very, very well, like if you are staying in a country, so what is right or what is wrong is designed by whom? Decided by whom? Decided by the Constitution. It is not decided by you and me. Unless you and me come together and change the Constitution. So that is why in India, somehow it has become secular country. So why and how it becomes secular, don't ask, that's another point. But still we have to follow the rule of secularism, so-called secularism. Because that is what the Constitution. So whether Constitution is right or wrong, please understand. I cannot challenge Constitution even though there are constitutional courts. So unless it is being changed, where the constitution only talks what is right, what is wrong. So to understand what is right or wrong in a country, I have to look at the constitutional code or constitution. So also, what is kartabya, what is akartabya, what is my duty in a given situation and what I should not do in a given situation. That only comes from Shastra, not from anybody or anything. Only from Shastra or who knows Shastra. That's why Lord Krishna was playing his game very carefully. So that's why when we look at all these things, because without knowing what is dharma, without knowledge of dharma, if you want to protect somebody, abhijnanat bhavanyacha dharmam rakshati dharmavid प्राणिनाम त्वं वधपार्थ धार्मिको नावबुध्यसे. Because without knowing dharma, without the knowledge of dharma, if you try to protect somebody, you cannot protect. In fact, you are going to destroy. It's like, no, you do not know the constitution, so you want to take the law in your hand. So also without knowing dharma, it's difficult. That's why, oh Arjuna, knowing dharma, take everything in your hand. If you know the constitution like lawyers, okay, all these lawyers, they know constitution, they know how to interpret, okay, they escape. But if you try to follow, you are cut. Does it happen or not? So like that, we have just a list of things when and where one is also supposed to take himsa is allowed. Yuddha kshetra. In war, himsa is allowed. If you say, I am in the war, but I don't want to be violent, is it possible? Because please understand, that's why we had yuddha means dharma yuddha. This is a beautiful point. Except, that's why especially Mahabharata, towards end, after some time it got diluted. For as long as Bhishma was commander-in-chief, also Duryodhana was commander-in-chief. That long it was somehow great. After that, it was not great at all. They violated dharma. For example, being dharma yuddha, dharma yuddha means establishing dharma, not establishing one's own power. One cannot fight after sunset. Once the sunrise happens, the war starts. That too, both the parties will blow the conch. Means both the parties are ready. Like present day, we do all this wrestling competition. Not this is sumo fight. Okay, sumo fight has no rule. Sumo fight is a completely different thing altogether. Let us not talk that. So here what happens? They follow the rule carefully. Once it becomes evening, now there is no enemy. Both the group can go to other group. And each one can go, their ambulance, their doctors can treat other group, other doctors can treat, because after all are a citizen. Can you see this concept? Daytime they are enemies. Once it becomes evening, all are one and same. So enemy group can enter the other side, other group can come this side. In Ramayana also same thing was followed by Rama. Rama did not transgress the rule, whereas Ravana and other group tried to transgress. So that is how we call as dharma yuddha. So himsa is being done for a purpose, to take care of adharma, to establish dharma. Also we have same thing as himsa is allowed in certain cases. Also not to tell truth also allowed in few places. So for that there are many examples we do have. Like here one verse says very nicely that Vivaha kale rati samprayoge pranatyaye sarvadhanapahare viprasya charthe hanutam vadet panchanutani ahupadakani. So here he says, look, these are the places even if a person tells a lie is accepted. So like Vivaha kale, at the time of marriage, especially when you have to make marriage to happen, you have to tell only lies, nothing else. To join both the parties, you understand what I am trying to say? Yes, girl is very good. So does he know cooking? Does she know cooking? Nowadays this is the first question. Those days, does she know cooking? In fact, what can you say? Yesterday I came there to talk. What food she made, you cannot think of. Wow, so good. So you can tell 10 items, you can tell, okay? So these lies are allowed, you understand? Because your intention is what? To make a new house to happen. A new thing to happen. Not to win or to put anybody in trouble. So that's why if you have time, marriage time, lies also are accepted. Rati samprayoge, in a relationship, close relationship. Then comes pranatyaye, that's very nice. When you are, especially you discover, when somebody's prana is in dangerous time, somebody is going to be killed, that time one can tell lie, absolutely no problem. When one is dying, not necessarily. Lie, you are able to protect the life of a person, absolutely nothing wrong in it. Same thing also, you discover somebody's wealth, everything is going away just in one go. You can protect that person by telling a lie. Is also allowed. So when we look at this thing, also we say that for the goodness of a Brahmin, especially for a sadhu or for a learned person, you can tell a lie because you are protecting. So in short, you can tell a lie where others are being protected without any benefit you receive from them in return. If in the mind you have that I will get some benefit in return, let me support, let me help, that is not acceptable. So like that we have a list of all these principles that when one is supposed to follow yama and when one is not. But let me not get into in details. But in short I can say yama are to be followed all the time. Only those times you need not, or if you don't want to follow, is allowed where you are protecting other people. So in order to protect other people means not, I am protecting my child, my family, you understand? It's after all they are other people. So if they are other people, do you really look at them as other people? In fact, you look at them as your extension. So here, by protecting others, in short, if there is some violation of yama, is acceptable. So that's why we have to be very careful in this regard, because there are a lot of rules and regulations which I need not get into. Then of course, aparigraha. So that means what? This is whatever I have, let me be contented. Let me give it more importance to what? Let me give more importance to what I have, not what I have. Generally, what we do, we give importance to what I don't have. If I ask you, you have a list that I don't have this, I don't have that. In fact, you get up morning, I don't have this, I don't have that. But how many things you have, do you know? Starting with in your home, in your house, in your cupboard, dress. What especially summer is there or summer is coming, especially. So for them now winter is coming. So now whether winter is coming or summer is coming. So I don't have this particular winter dress. I don't have this particular summer dress. That you are thinking morning till evening. But that you have many summer dress, many winter dress. Do you look at? In fact, you don't know also. Some of them you don't know. Suddenly you discover, 3 years back I had bought when it was offer. Okay, I did not open that. So in short, that we highlight what we don't have. We focus on what we don't have. But here, let us now understand, accept and appreciate what we have. So when I start appreciating what I have, starting with this body-mind complex, I have a beautiful body, beautiful mind, beautiful surrounding. And not that I am proud of it, as I am having beautiful body and mind, also others are having their body, beautiful mind. You understand? So there is no comparison, there is no superiority or inferiority complex either. So here is, in short, I accept myself, I accept my surrounding, I accept my resources. And in short, I am contented. So when I am contented, there will be no jealousy. There will be no competition. There will be no insecurity. That will make me to follow all these yamas and later on niyamas. Because once I am contented, out of habitual error, if any yamas have not been followed, of course niyamas will be followed automatically. How this aparigraha will lead to all other niyamas, we will see later on. Please. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.